Yo, how's it going, our JRR family? Welcome back to another video. I guess it's like another talking type video today. I just want to talk about what is going to be happening in December sort of period, where it is going to be, a lot of you know I like my boxing, all right? And I got told that I got quite a lot of boxing knowledge. To be fair, for a guy who's done boxing for a little while, I should know a bit about boxing. But I wanted to talk about, as you can see in the title, Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, the rematch. And I want to give my analysis and how I feel like the fight's going to go, who I feel will take the rounds, and what will happen in the early rounds too, if it does ever hit the late rounds, which I don't think it's going to do. So let's get into it. You guys seem to like me, I guess, talking about things, and as you know, that I'm quite a good, I guess, analysis against boxing, and I love my boxing. I think boxing is incredible. I watched the boxing the other night as well. I watched UFC the other night as well with the whole Nate Diaz and Masvidal. I just think everything's so sick at the moment. Like, all the sports is great, and then obviously this weekend. It is this weekend. Yeah, on Saturday it's KSI versus Logan Paul, which is going to be absolutely fucking amazing as well. I'm not going to watch that fight. I'm going to wait until tomorrow morning. Well, not tomorrow morning, the morning after, and find out who's actually fucking won that fight. But apart from them two, I want to talk about Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. As a lot of you know, Anthony Joshua lost his belts to Andy Ruiz, the guy that people thought was a bum, and they didn't actually understand why AJ is taking on a fight like that. So Anthony Joshua was meant to be fighting Gerard Miller, and Gerard Miller, failed so many fucking drug tests. Like, he had about, fucking shitloads. And I think Varga testing as well, they was doing it, and they tested him like they wasn't gonna test him, but then Eddie Hearn got involved, everything else, Varga got involved, and they wanted to test him, and then thankfully they fucking did, because they basically said that he had enough fucking shit in his body that he could literally potentially a Superman. Like, he had so much shit in his fucking system. It is incredible. Like, and one punch, they basically stated that one punch from him could literally end your life. It was that bad. So thankfully that fight didn't actually go ahead, even though I would rather that fight to go ahead, because Anthony Joshua was angry. And this is the thing that I wanted to talk about. So in the last fight, Andy Ruiz is such a nice guy. He was respectful. He had no hate towards anybody. He respected Anthony Joshua to the max. He never said anything bad. He was not a trash talker at all. And I think that is what caught AJ out. It wasn't the whole fucking situation of, the whole switch up with the opponents, because it's happened so many times. You've had a switch up with an opponent. For example, Derek Chisora versus David Price. Derek Chisora was meant to fight what's his fucking name? Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker got a spider bite, so David Price got involved. But look who came up on top. Derek Chisora again, because David Price only got about 3 to 4 weeks of training, which is pretty similar to the Andy Ruiz. Yes, Andy Ruiz been training prior, but so did David Price. So this is what I'm trying to get at, right? Because Anthony Joshua was so angry before, I guess with the whole Gerard Miller thing. Gerard Miller was such an arsehole. Like, even I wanted to punch the shit out of him. But, it's not going to happen. He was like 23 fucking stone to geese, so he's fucking huge. And I think because, me personally, I feel Anthony Joshua fights so much better when he's got a bit of anger in him. Yes, he respected Vladimir Klitschko, but I feel like because Vladimir Klitschko is Vladimir Klitschko, like, you don't, I guess, win an easy fight against the Klitschkos. The Klitschkos have been the mainstream. They've been fucking incredible for years, like for decades. And that was his biggest win by far, was the Klitschko fight. And, I was fucking over the moon, even though I absolutely love Klitschko. I've supported Klitschko. I really didn't know who I wanted to win that fight, but I thought because he's a young British guy, I really wanted him to do well. And he did, and he won the fight. Amazing uppercut, and he finished it off. Then, this fucking Andy Ruiz comes into the scene. And because obviously the Miller fight didn't work out, Andy Ruiz got a call up, and Andy Ruiz was like, yeah, I'd love to fight. I'd love to fight the guy. I'd love to, hopefully be, the first heavyweight Mexican champion sort of thing. And, I was so, I guess, gobsmacked with him. Because I was thinking, like, so many people trash talk in the sport, and Andrew Ruiz just wasn't that guy. And it started to worry me a lot because the whole thing when the press conference came, and I never understood why AJ did it. But then I thought in the few months and the whole thing when the fight was being like, coming up to the rematch now, but then it came to my head, I went, you never give the opponent the belts to feel it. You never give that. And I think that's what AJ's problem was. He became too nice from the Andy Ruiz fight. He was too nice. He became too humble, forgot about all the anger, just became too nice. And I feel like, a lot of people, and I feel like because he had so many people on his shoulders, expecting him to win that fight. Easy. Pretty easy, I think the majority, I was one of the only, I guess, people, there was probably a lot of other people saying it, but I was probably one of the only people in the UK that said, do not count him out. It's Andy Ruiz. This guy is a fucking weapon. He is so fucking quick for a heavyweight. That is so unusual to see someone. You got. I know there's so not a different. That's such a different comparison, but Mike Tyson. Look at him. He was so small. Yes, he has muscle, massive, but he was smaller compared to most heavyweights. But look how quick he was when he got he was going in and the overheads and things like that, body shots, uppercut. He has such a good fucking stature. He had such a good pace. He was so quick and he was so easy to knock you out. That is my problem with Ruiz. And this is where my problem lies with Anthony Joshua. So I stated this before and I've said it in my own head as well, that the only way Joshua wins this fight is if he gets him out early. He has to take Ruiz out early. No fucking humbleness, no, I don't mean that you have to trash talk him to the fucking, to the minimum. You don't have to go crazy with him, but none of this, I respect him. I mean, you can respect him, of course, but none of this, I guess all this humble shit, knowing that he is not, Andrew Ruiz, yes, he's humble, he's a nice guy, and he doesn't trash talk, he loves people and things, but he wakes up in the ring. He wakes up in the ring. And the thing with Anthony Joshua, he's got to realise from this fight, I'm proud of Anthony Joshua. I feel that he's become more slimmer. He's sort of not lost the muscle, but he's sort of, I guess, his shape has sort of gone down a little bit. I guess that muscle is too much weight. It's so much, he's got so much muscle that it puts a lot of weight onto him. If he does knock down Andy Ruiz this time, he has to press quick. 9 times out of 10, anybody that fights Anthony Joshua gets knocked out by Anthony Joshua or gets knocked down by Anthony Joshua will back up. What we noticed with Andrew Ruiz is that he didn't back up. He got up from dizziness or whatever and just swang for the fences. He was gone. And he just swang. And he caught a lovely fucking good hit. He just went in with that one. Pow! Right there on the top of the dome. That was it. Anthony Joshua just couldn't recover. And from a guy who is like Andrew Ruiz, he's so fucking quick. He's not a typical heavyweight where, they'll just constantly little jabbers and things like that and he'll just get himself involved. He saw that Anthony Joshua went down. He saw that Anthony Joshua got up in a weird way. And from Andy Ruiz's eyes, he went, this is it. It's finished. And you could see that in his eyes. He's looking at, and he's looking at Anthony Joshua. He's smiling. Because look at the difference between when Anthony Joshua knocked down Ruiz to Ruiz knocking down Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua didn't react as much. He just went back to his corner. Andy Ruiz celebrated, where he put his hands up and celebrated his knockdown. Because the difference between the two knockdowns, you see Anthony Joshua went down very steady, his legs were gone and his head was flopping. Didn't understand it. Whereas Ruiz just went down. He just went down, chilled, up he gets again. You see the difference, you know what I mean? If you look at the difference between the two knockdowns, you see the difference between the two fighters. This is the thing that, people seem to forget. The knockdowns that you can do during the fight makes the fight. That ends the fight. Seriously. So that's why people thought, and I saw that fucking knockdown, and in my head I was like, please get up, please get up. And as soon as he got up, I went, you're fucked. And that's exactly what I said. It's the exact same words. I went, you're fucked. You're finished. No more. And what did I do? Didn't watch the rest of it because I knew that he was going to lose. I knew it. I knew it that he was going to lose. There was no other way of him coming back from that knockdown. There's no other way. Ruiz knew that. And this is what the problem is. Andy Ruiz is a fucking animal. People have got to take that in consideration. He is not just this typical heavyweight who's just a big blob and can't fight. The guy will turn up to belt you in. That is the way it is. Any fight. Andy Ruiz will fuck up Deontay Wilder. I'm saying it as it is. Andy Ruiz has more power than Deontay Wilder. I don't care what anybody says. You know, because the thing is, people were saying that Joshua's got a glass chin, right? The problem is, you hit a heavyweight with any kind of force. You know, when you're a heavyweight and you're a heavyweight, you're both 17, 16, 17, 18 stone. You hit hard enough, it's going to fucking hurt. And not anybody, everybody's going to go down. Anyone will go down. It's the way it works, right? So this is what I'm trying to say. If Anthony Joshua wants to win this fight, he's got to come in quick. I'm sorry to say it. He's got to come in with the straight. He's got to go straight from round one. Bang, bang, bang. He's got to really fucking push Andy Ruiz to his limit. He's got to go crazy with Andy Ruiz. And the problem is, he's got to do it and he's got to back up. He's got to fucking move himself about. He's got to literally keep himself going. And he's got to keep on, you know, jabbing. He's got to jab him as many times as he possibly can. And you've got to understand that hook is going to come. That hook will come. But you've got the longer reach. So ideally, you could be punching him here. He won't be able to hit you anywhere. Ideally. You know what I mean? Because he's got a much longer reach than Ruiz has. And as soon as you do get them jabs, you've got to physically thump that face. You've got to seriously hit that face. In my personal opinion, that is the only way for Anthony Joshua to win. If he goes in later rounds, Ruiz has got you. He has fucking got you. And if you cannot establish the jab and your hooks, your power straight away, even when if for any reason Ruiz goes down, you've got to make sure that he's the one going down again. Because if you know for a fact he's going to get back up and he wants more. He's going to want another one. He's going to want more of them punches. Because he is now fired right up. Like, he has got all this shit, adrenaline, the anger, to say that he's just been knocked down. And he wants the war. And you've got to give it to him. You know, he's going to come out swinging like a fucking... He's going to come haymakers, left, right, and centre. He's going to go mental. So you've got to make sure that you establish yourself in that ring. You've got to be light on your feet. And as soon as he's coming in with the good fucking hooks, you've got to make sure you step back and bang. Just keep popping him with something. You know, even because he's that type of fighter that comes in like Mike Tyson did. He comes in like this with his head out. He's not really defending himself. He's just coming in. So even if you have to just step back away from it and hit with the uppercut, or a crucifix uppercut, anything that you've got to do, and just whatever, any way, that is the only way for me that Anthony Joshua would win that fight, is if he establishes his dominance from round one, from the first second of round one. Got to establish your dominance. But then again, my personal opinion is this. Round one, round two, and round three. If Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him down twice in either of them rounds, Andy Ruiz he's won the fight. I'm saying it as it is. I'm saying it as it is. I just can't see Anthony Joshua winning this fight any other way. You know, if he wants to keep backing up, just using the jab, I mean, it could work. It may work. But it takes one shot. It takes one shot. It takes one shot from Ruiz. Ruiz has got a seriously strong power fucking hands. He's got very, very, very powerful hands. That's the way it is. That's my prediction. If round one, round two, or round three, Anthony Joshua hasn't shown any dominance during them 3 rounds, it's done. It is finished. It's over. Like, no more, because Anthony Joshua needs to come in from round one non-stop. I understand he's a big guy. I understand that. But by now, he should have worked on his cardio more. He's been 12 rounds before. Work it out. You've got to work on your cardio. Big muscles, looks great. The ladies love him. Yeah? Fair enough. But they don't win you fights. Muscles do not win you fights. You know, the fucking skills, the power of you can win you fights. The IQ of boxing wins you fights. Your mentality wins you fights. Your footwork wins you fights. Your cardio wins you fights. Being this massive fucking huge bodybuilder lookalike doesn't win you fights. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't win you fights. And he's got to train. He's got to warm up before the fight. Because the last fight, he didn't warm up. He came out dry. No sweat on his body from the last fight. So he must have thought this was going to be a walk in the park. Or maybe he didn't want to be champion anymore because he has so much on his head. I don't know. But look, that is my prediction of the fight. I feel 1, 2, 3, if Anthony Joshua doesn't show any dominance, any knockdowns, whatever, to Andy Ruiz in the first 3 rounds, this fight is gone and Andy Ruiz will be champion once again. And that's the way I look at it. But hey, let me know down below what you think, who's going to win this fight. And do you reckon it's going to be an early round KO for Joshua, early round KO for Andy Ruiz? Let me know. It'd be absolutely amazing. If you did like this video, please make sure to smash the like button, hit subscribe button, make sure to share with all your friends and family, and the bell notifications so you never miss a video from me. Come and join the JRL family. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy my little commentary, things like that, and I give you my analysis on the way I feel that boxing will go. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care, and bye-bye.